Greetings. Hope you're doing great wherever you are, whenever you are watching this video. Fresh off home time. Was good. Spent Mother's Day with the wifey. Spent birthday, with the family. And, just a lot of family time. And it was really good. Thank you guys for joining me. Today I want to talk about how to find the best company. Let's say you don't have a CDL or you just got your CDL and you're fresh coming into the game. What are the things to look for? Okay, first, you're going to be watching a lot of YouTube videos, probably mine. You're going to be watching a lot of YouTube videos. And if you're not careful, what you're going to realize is that every situation works differently for different people. So first, you have to say, okay, my bills are here, my living cost is here. What do I need to make in terms of earnings per week to cover these costs and try to put some money on the side in savings to get by? Which company is gonna put you in a situation to meet those requirements best? Now, you're fresh coming into the game. It's gonna be, your first CDL job or anything like that. So chances are you're not gonna be getting the highest salary. So you have to know your situation, and that kind of helps help you to steer you into a direction where you want to go. You know what I mean? The cent per mile, it's easy to get caught up in that because you just want to get the highest cent per mile out there. And I understand. You're spending time away from family. You want to maximize on your earning potential, and that's great. But also there are other things that you have to look at. What is your situation at home? Because I can tell you from having family and, it gets challenging when you're out there and you want to run, because, you have to come back home and spend time with the family, the family wants to see you, and even you as a person, you miss your family, you want to go home to. Not a lot of companies give you that flexibility. Might be, I don't know. But not a lot of companies, I laugh at myself a lot. Not a lot of companies make their schedule that flexible for you to move around and do things like that. I like that with Prime. But you have to do your research and find out what works best for you. So you have the cent per mile. You have the home time. All right. You also have the policies of these companies. I'm not a smoker, but let's say you have a trainer and that trainer smokes. Some companies, they don't give you the option to go with, somebody who don't smoke. So bear these things in mind, because it might seem very light right now, but when you get out here, it's very, it's a big deal. Companies that flexible with trainers as well. How do they pair you with the trainer? Prime gives you a survey. They ask you quite a number of questions to see how best they can pair you with someone who lives close to you. Sometimes it's not possible. Sorry. Sometimes it's not possible, you know what I mean? So every company has somebody working for them. So that means somebody will say, oh, don't go to Swift, it's a bad company. Don't go to CR England, it's a bad company. Don't go to Prime, oh, it's a bad company. Don't go to... Whatever works for you. You have to do your research. I'm here. Hit me with a question. Hit me with a message. And, I'll try to help the best way that I can, Also, when I say do your research, I don't mean just rely on YouTube videos. Call up a few of these companies, say, hey, what are your policies? Ask some questions for yourself. And it's really a good feeling too. You enjoy it. You feel like you're already in the trucking game. Because I used to do that. I used to walk my son in his stroller, let my wife get some rest, and I'm walking and I'm watching videos, and then I'd come home and I'll call up a few companies, and I feel like I was already in the CDL life before I even got a CDL. Do your research, guys. Check out these companies. Don't just hop into the game based on someone else's experience, and then when you get out here, you're so frustrated, because that's why a lot of drivers quit in their first year. You know what I mean? I knew coming into the trucking industry that it's gonna be challenging, handling family time, home time, with, you know, training, being out there, because I'm kind of person that, you know, it's just me and family every day. So I know that transition would have been difficult, and it is. It is. But here I am, 4 days away from completing my first year. I've run into a few drivers who say, man, you're not making any money at I know I'm not making what you're making. I did not expect to make what you're making. Some people and some drivers are talking from an experience of being in the trucking game 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? And you will get there eventually if you take the necessary steps. If you don't, you're going to find yourself jumping to 2 to 3 different companies before you have 2 years in the game. And a lot of companies, they look on that when they're going to employ you, and that's not good. I don't want you guys to mess up your I don't want you guys to mess up your track record before you even get your feet in the game the right way. You know? And that's what I'm here for. I try to keep it real. I try to keep it 100. It's not no made up stuff. And, you know, of course I like talking with you guys. I love when someone subscribe, they hit like on the channel. I'm like, hey, building a community. I love that aspect of it. But I also love the fact that I can provide some information to someone else, because I was on the other side of these videos. I was that person, you know, who had no clue, who never drove a big old semi-truck before. And I used to watch a lot of videos to gain some experience. So, you know, there is no perfect company. There's ups, there's down in all of them. But if you do your research before and you choose wisely, you get your feet into one. Because in your first year, you're not going to be making, you know, what, you know, experienced drivers are making. You get your feet into one, you settled in, and within that year, you start to, you know, talk to others and still do research and still get, you know, some experience under your belt. I've done videos about Prime. I've done videos about Roehl. I've done videos about Schneider, you know, Hirschback. But there's some there's some companies out here that they will train you and they will pay you while you get your CDL. So you just have to try to see which one is close. Of course, you're not going to get that pay during training where it takes care of everything back home. So it's nice to do your research and say, okay, if you are married or you know your significant other, okay, I will be getting this per week from training. And if your significant other is getting that per week from training, together that will cover the bills. You guys stay afloat. You don't go too deep into debt. You don't want to be, okay, I'm going to take out a loan to cover this or that. No. Because after training, you're going to start bumping up, you know, your pay is going to start bumping up a little bit. And you'll get there. You'll get there. Stay positive. Do your research. You know what I mean? Don't just take it from anybody. Don't just take it from anybody that this is that. Just remember what situation works best for you. If you realize that you can't be away from family, you might want to find a job that has regional accounts, that have local accounts. Because some people will tell you too, hey, you can't just get your CDL and get a local job. Yes, you can. You can. Now, a lot of these local jobs, they are looking for experience. They want you to have 1 year of tractor trailer experience. It doesn't even have to be over the road. But you will find some that will take you on and employ you. You just have to do your research again. Dig. A matter of fact, one of the easiest ways is just to go on Google and type in CDL jobs in my location. Boom, you see a lot of stuff start popping up. You start to make some calls. Or you type in local CDL jobs. You're going to see a bunch of stuff come up. Some will show you the requirements. And you will find in those requirements, you know, 1 year experience. None. Some of them will say CDL needed. Some of them will say not necessarily. And you might even find a good trucking job to work local where you might get good money without even needing a CDL. So that's when it all boils down to experience. Know what you want to do. There is flatbed divisions out here. There is reefer divisions out here. There's tanker divisions out here. You know, there is intermodal. There is companies that just travel with containers and stuff like that. Know what you want to do and, you know, step into it. But research. Do your own due diligence. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, just let me know. Hit me in the comment section. You guys stay safe out there. See you soon.